getting ready to post it. I'm doing a watch party.
Fill me up when I am falling.
They won't let me do it.
Anoint me with your power, Lord. Power to fight. Satan on every hand. Raise up the wicked land. You are the potter. I am the clay. Mold me and make me light away. This is my honest plea. Strengthen me. Strengthen me.
There we go.
Lay it on every hand. Strong when I am weak. Anoint me
I
with
just started
power,
watching.
Lord. Oh, power to fight. Satan on every hand. The ways of this wicked land. Build me up when I am falling. Make me strong when I'm weak. Anoint me with power, Lord. Power to bind Satan on every hand. The ways of this wicked land. Oh, you are the potter. I am the clay. Mold me and make me your kind of way. Oh, yes, it is. Strengthen me. Strengthen me. Strengthen me, strengthen me, yeah. I need you to strengthen me. Oh, yes, I do. Strengthen me, strengthen me. Every day, every hour, I need you to strengthen me. Pick me up when I am falling. Set my feet on my feet. Pick me up when I am falling. Set my feet on higher ground. Strengthen me, strengthen me. I need you to strengthen me. Place my feet on higher ground. Place my feet on higher ground. I need you. I need you. I need your power. I need your anointing. Strengthen me. Strengthen me. Pick me up. Pick me up when I am falling. I need you to strengthen me. Set my feet, set my feet, set my feet. Pick me up. I said, pick me up, Jesus.
All right. Good afternoon, Middle Georgia. Good afternoon, Macon. Good afternoon, Perry. Good afternoon, Warner Robins. Good afternoon, Fort Valley. Good afternoon, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, Periscope Live, Facebook Live, to all the lives, to everyone that's on. It is 1:15 on Thursday, So that means it's time for our Think About It Thursday segment. And once again, we have the incomparable Superintendent Juan Goodson that is going to be filling in for us on today to bring us our Think About It Thursday segment. Now, he's on, and I was just being really petty today, knowing that he would be here. So I made sure I had on my Falcons gear today, just because I knew he was going to be on. I wanted to make sure that I wore it to rise up while we are on. Just so that I can make sure that I did that. So, Superintendent, we're so glad to have you with us today, sir. Thank you so much for being on.
I can't. Bishop, it's good to be on once again, bringing you greetings from Atlanta. I mean, Lord, see, you got me confused from Charlotte, North Carolina. No, Charlotte, home of the Panthers, And I'm assuming that rise is prophetic word because y'all sure haven't done anything lately. Anyway, Bishop, we're right.
You know what? It's all right. It's all right, Superintendent. You know, I'm faithful. I'm faithful to mine. I didn't switch in the middle of it. But it's funny when I do that. When I do that is because you're from Atlanta and I'm from South Carolina. But hey, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. So anyhow, rise up. Go ahead, Superintendent. Go ahead.
Well, when thou art converted, strengthen thy brothers. Anyway, get it right. Get it right to it. I'm glad to be on. Also, I'm glad to be on here on today to do the Think About It a Thursday moment. And thanks again, Bishop, once again for having me on. And my wife is here today. She's over there. So she's in the room with me today. But today, very quickly, I want to talk today about the silent killer of the church. I want to talk about the silent killer of the church. And I believe that, like high blood pressure, if you have high blood pressure, or you're struggling with high blood pressure, you've often heard that high blood pressure is the silent killer. And that's because it's hard to detect. A lot of people don't even know they have high blood pressure now. Do you think, hey, I just got a headache, or I just not feeling my best, and they just keep going on about their day and it becomes their norm, but they're living with high blood pressure. And we know that high blood pressure shreds the arteries, and that's why I call it the silent killer, because it will kill you, right? I believe there's something in the church that is a silent killer. Also, it's killing our hopes, it's killing our dreams, it's killing our blessings, and it's killing our breakthroughs, it's killing our promotion, our maturation in the church, and that is unforgiveness. I believe the church is dealing with something now that we haven't been dealing with, but it's an issue in the church that we need to deal with, and that is unforgiveness. We talk about forgiveness. We talk about forgiveness, but we don't talk about what are the traits of unforgiveness. Because I believe there are some things that are happening in our lives that are going on that we can't explain why we feel a certain way. But I want to know that sometimes the things that you're feeling are personal, a situational, or unforgiveness. So I went through these things right quick with you guys and talk about some things that you need to look at in your life and see if these are dealing with these things, understand that you're dealing with unforgiveness and you need to change that correctly. Because why? Simply because forgiveness, which I hope to talk about the next time I'm on, forgiveness is the most basic attribute of the Christian. Christians are the most forgiven, therefore they should be the most forgiving, right? Salvation is based on forgiveness. So the only reason we're saved is to have been what? Forgiven. But if you're walking around with unforgiveness, then you're hindering what God really wants to do in your life. But okay, let me give you just 6 things right quick about unforgiveness. And you tell me, and you be the judge if you're looking at these things or if some of these things may be happening in your life. Number one, unforgiveness always keeps score. You remember the story of the prodigal son? The first thing that he says when his dad has put the robe on the other son, on the prodigal son that was gone and came back, he says, look, all these many years I have served you. In other words, I've been here. What about me? Why haven't you done something for me? See, unforgiveness will keep score of what being somebody else. Unforgiveness will pick out and say, well, why are you doing that for them and me? Unforgiveness has this trait of jealousy that runs through it. Unforgiveness is always looking at what should have been done for me. See, love takes no count, but keeps count. So if you're keeping count about what somebody else has done for another person, or even in a marriage, then you're dealing with unforgiveness. Unforgiveness always boasts of its own record. The older brother in the prodigal son says, these many years I have never done wrong. See, unforgiveness always points out what they have done. I've never done this, I've never done, but yet you're celebrating them. See, it's judgment toward others. I always do good, others do bad. See, if you're looking at something and you're judging or you're boasting about your own record, about what you have done and have not done in your life, then you could be dealing with unforgiveness. Here's another one. Unforgiveness always complains. Unforgiveness always says, you never do anything for me, never help me, you never spend time with me, or you never do those things for everybody else, but you never do it for me. See, a person that's dealing with unforgiveness, he's dealing with something, or she is dealing that has offended them by a person. And so now they're pointing out everything that this person has not done instead of pointing out what this person has done. If you find yourself complaining a lot about situations and about people in your life, you could be dealing with unforgiveness. Here's another one. Unforgiveness has a martyr syndrome. You know, sacrifice yourself for the cause kind of syndrome. But usually have this issue. I do all the work. It's always me. I do everything. A person that always wants to take credit for something. I did all the work. They didn't do anything. Nobody else helped out. Nobody else saw this. Nobody else was moving forward. You may be upset because other people are taking breaks and living their lives and taking a vacation when you're a workaholic and you decided to negate taking a break or taking a vacation. And so now you're upset with them and you have this martyr syndrome. I do it all. Nobody else does anything. I'm the only one. You really may be dealing with unforgiveness. Here are the last two. Unforgiveness always alienates, it divides, and it separates. When the kids are acting up, do you say, your child is acting up over there, or do you say our child? When the members acting up at the church and one of the members comes to the pastor and he said, your members are those are your members, pastor. Or when you don't want to be around certain people, when you don't want to be around a brother or sister at a function, or when you don't want to hang around certain people when we're all hanging out together at a fellowship, and you're constantly trying to avoid them. Part of that reason maybe is because you're dealing with unforgiveness. They may have offended you in some way or done something that you now are saying, I don't want to be bothered with, but it's just not, I just don't like them. It's something in unforgiveness. You may not have forgiven them for something they may have done or may have said. Here's the last one, and I got to go. Unforgiveness is always envious and jealous when someone at the church or someone in their surrounding gets a blessing. You ever notice somebody, just because they don't even know anything about a person, but if that person, I got a new car, they ain't gonna be able to keep it. They ain't gonna be able to pay for it. How they get a new car, or how they get a new house, or you really see this in the church. When somebody testifies about their blessing, I wonder how they got it. I wonder how they, see, we're dealing with unforgiveness. Especially if we know that person has hurt us, then we don't want to see them come up. We don't want to see them blessed. We don't want to see them moving forward. You ever think about it? Is it somebody in your life or in your circle that you just really don't care for and you hate to see when they get a blessing, when they come up? You always got something to say about it. Don't nobody listen. Ain't nobody caring about that. They ain't gonna keep it. We could be dealing with unforgiveness. So let me just end with this. Unforgiveness is the silent, deadly killer in the church. Because if we're walking around with unforgiveness, if you go to Jesus' prayer and Jesus is praying, he teaches the disciples how to pray. It's amazing to me when after he goes through the prayer, when he finishes the prayer, he doesn't talk about the whole aspect of the prayer, because he could talk about the daily bread part, be thy name part, or thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. He could talk about those are the parts, that just, oh man, you could expand on those. No, he goes straight to the forgiveness part. He says, if you do not forgive your brother who has transgressed against you, then your Father, which is in heaven, which we just got through praying to, will not forgive you of your trespasses or your transgressions. See, unforgiveness will stop the blessings of God from flowing in our lives. Go back, think about this. Am I dealing with unforgiveness in my own life toward people, and I just couldn't really figure out what it was I didn't like about them? Because you have to forgive them, even if you don't feel like they deserve it, or if they have not apologized for the offense they have committed. As a Christian, our most basic attribute is forgiveness. God bless you. Hope to see you next time. Go Panthers.
All right, Superintendent, we so appreciate you for that phenomenal word all the way up until the end. But we're going to forgive you. We're going to walk in forgiveness. We're not going to hold that against you. But this is so true. And it was one of those ouch sermons. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking your time and actually feeding us today, sir. Even though.
You're welcome, Bishop. I enjoyed it.
And
except for the visual.
Even though in spite of, because I love your wife, who's my God, whom I love so dearly, I'm going to allow you to stay on for a second while I let the world hear this particular cut that actually is featuring her, because it's hers. It's her CD. How about this? We're going to let Lady J. Nicole bless us real quick with some holy here on 980 AM.
You're not perfect, but I'm trying to be like him. Holy, yeah. All I wanna be is holy, yeah. I gotta be holy, yeah. No, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to be like him. Wanna be holy just like God. Wanna walk upright before him. Don't wanna stray or disappoint him. Just like God. Lord, cleanse me of my iniquity. Make me whiter than snow. I wanna walk like and talk like and be like and love like and just like God. I wanna be holy. Yeah. Holy. I gotta be holy, yeah. No, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to be like him. Holy, yeah. Wanna be just like I gotta be just like I gotta be holy, just like God. Hey, just like God. Oh, just like my Savior, just like him, just like God. I wanna be holy.
Once again, that's Lady J. Nicole, who is the wife of Superintendent Goodson. Once again, Superintendent Goodson, thank you so much for taking your time and being on with us today. We appreciate you for the word. We receive it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes,
Next
sir.
week.
God bless you, Bishop.
Okay, thank you, sir.
that.
God bless you. Love you. All right, every Thursday we do Think About It Thursday right here on 980 AM. Got some more good gospel music coming up for you right after these messages.
You don't ever have to be stranded with a flat tire. Bubba's Mobile Tire and Repair Service, LLC. 24-hour roadside assistance. They service cars, trucks, RVs, tractor trailers, and much more. For your roadside needs, call Bubba's Mobile Tire and Repair at 478-781-7433. And they're located at 3561 Broadway in Macon. And oh yeah, truck parking is coming real soon. So call Bubba right now at 478-781-7433. Bubba's Mobile and Tire Repair, LLC. The Easter season is swiftly approaching. Fashion is at the top of your list. Ladies and gentlemen, Hand Me That Bag has you covered. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Prada, Chanel, and the designer bling bling to match. I just want to hand you that bag. Men's watches, bracelets, bags, crossbody bags, hats, and more. Call Leah today at 478-461-9162. That's 478-461-9162. Or go to her Facebook page, Leah Sutton, and tell her you heard about it on 980 AM WDDO. Come join in with the Drive Time family every morning, Monday through Friday.
Wait, that's it. Drive Time.
From 7:15 until with your god brother, your godson, your god nephew, Bertice Zero-Zier. It's Drive Time. Drive Time.
Here at the Dozier Law Firm, we've been fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of our work